Hi, welcome to Birds of Coto. Episode 2, we looked at our ducks. Episode 3, our herons and egrets. And episode 5 here, we're going to look at all the other water birds you find on our golf course. So let's give it a go.
This is an American coot, Fulica americana. Now a coot is not a duck. He has forked feet instead of webbed feet to help walk on the land. He is actually a rallidae, or a rail, and he's cousins to the clapper rail and the soarer rail we find in Newport Back Bay. Now a cluster of coots is called a cover or a raft, and we have plenty of covers and rafts throughout the south, north, water holes. Two best things about coots: you can chase them into the water, and you can also watch them get eaten by golden eagles.
He's got himself a coot.
So that's our American coot.
There he goes.
This is a Canada goose, or Branta canadensis. Now a group of geese is called a gaggle when they're walking. When they're flying, they're called a flock. And this poor guy has a broken leg. They are monogamous, so they mate for life. And typically they're migratory, but in Coto we have quite a few that like to stay year-round. This is a snow goose, Answer xerulescens, and they summer as far up as the Bering Strait and far up north above Canada in the Arctic. They typically migrate to Louisiana and Mexico for the winter. This guy found it here. He's a wayward teenager. You can tell by his black plumage that will become fully white when he's an adult. He stands on one leg because his insulation is so poor. He's got to tuck it up to keep warm. So let's hope he makes it back home. Bye-bye. This is an Egyptian goose, Alopecia aegyptiaca. They come from the Nile. This is the male. When he's angry, he hisses a lot. Now, they found their way to England in the 17th century and California in 1980s. They're very pretty, but don't let them fool you. They propagate very successfully. A few years ago, we just had 2. Now we have about 30. And they will populate and run amok and be a menace to our nice Coto environment and the other birds, so keep them in check. This is the American white pelican, Pelicanus erythrorhynchus, which means red-billed pelican. He has a wingspan of 10 feet. It's a giant. It makes him only second place to this giant, the California condor. Now, these white pelicans come from the Salton Sea. There used to be 20,000 of them out there. Now there's fewer than 100. And the Salton Sea is drying up, so the salt gets bad, and the birds have to leave because of the lack of fish and breeding habitat. White pelicans do not dive bomb like the brown pelicans. They are surface feeders and dive underwater from the surface. They live about 16 years, so let's say goodbye to our white pelican. This is the double-crested cormorant, Phalacrocorax auratus. And don't mix him up with his cousin, the Brant's cormorant. Now these guys come also from the Salton Sea. There used to be over 5,000 breeding pairs. Now there's basically none. Now this is the male on the right. He's very black, and the female has a lighter color. They are fish-eating and diving birds. They can go as far as 20 feet underwater in jet propulsion style. So his feathers are not waterproof. He has to spend a lot of time in the sunshine after each dive. And here he is eating a nice big fish. He holds the fish on a hook on the end of his bill as he flips around headfirst into his mouth. This is a Forsters Tern, or Sterna forsteri. They come to Coto when the weather gets bad on the coast to eat in our lakes. They are dive bombers who dive directly into the water looking for their fish instead of like their Arctic cousin who tends to hover before diving. They're very similar to the common tern. They're also very protective and aggressive and will not hesitate to dive bomb the single walking golfer. So I like these guys. Our final bird is the spotted sandpiper, Actitis macularius. He's a small shorebird, and his name means coast dweller. So this little guy, he lives in the reservoir by our north gate, and they are typically found bobbing their heads up and down, looking for insects, crustaceans, and other invertebrates along the seashore. So thank you very much for watching another episode of Birds of Coto, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.